Sohini.
Hi, Sai.
Thank you so much for joining me. I have been following your journey for 2 years now, which is funny because I've only moved to London a little over a year ago.
Oh, I didn't actually even know that.
Yeah. So I was in Dublin, and for some reason, my algorithm decided, oh, this is content you will like. And my algorithm was spot on because the kind of content you post is so wholesome. And honestly, like when we were thinking about moving to London, these were some things that really mattered. Like, London is very cultural, but is there like a good Indian community? What kind of community is here? So honestly, you have played a massive role, not just in like bringing Indian culture to London, but also being that person who does that consistently, like for 2 years. And then I know you will continue to do that. So thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you to say, actually. That means a lot. Yeah, genuinely means a lot.
Okay, so before we jump in, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Sohini. I have a dak naam also, which is Rima. I'm Bengali. And I think actually some people find this really confusing because my husband calls me Rima.
Yeah.
They often think I have like a hidden name or something. It's a dak naam.
Okay.
And I think all Bengalis that will listen to this will know and identify with that. I was born in Kolkata. I moved to the UK roughly between the ages of like 8/10 because I went back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
And then since then I lived up near Liverpool.
Yeah.
With my parents, moved down to London to do my master's actually, not even before that. And then now actually it's weird because when people ask me where I'm from, I have to think because I have actually been in London now for over 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I've also lived in lots of other places. So I think that's something we should maybe even dig into because whenever people are like, where are you from? I'm like, I don't know what to say to you. Like I'm from a few different places, but now I'm a Londoner.
Yeah, a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's what makes Londoners though. I don't know if Londoners will agree with that.
Can you also introduce what you do?
Yes, of course. So I'm a chef. I have started Smoke and Lime 7 years ago, nearly. And then I was cooking for a few years before that as well. I'm not trained as a chef in the Western terms, but I like to say that I'm, trained in the kitchens of mothers and grandmothers or aunties or friends. And that's kind of the sort of food I like to bring to people. It's Bengali food in its base, but it's a bit of me. The food is definitely my personality as much as it is just pure Bengali food.
Yeah, I love that. So as you know, we'll have 3 parts to our conversation. We'll start off by talking about your roots, which is where you come from, what was your childhood like, and what makes you who you are. And then we will move on to talk about the work that you do, which is hands. And then we will close with the connections and the hard part of it, which is the...
I really like this format, actually. I just want to say, I think it's it's just very nice. I feel like you're connecting 3 quite key things. And it's nice. I hope there's lots and lots of episodes and you keep doing this forever.
Thank you.
Maybe not forever, but lots of years.
I really appreciate that. So tell me a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up. What were some things that are big in terms of your childhood when you think back now?
Okay, so I think I want to start by saying a lot of people who cook, they always start with saying, I've been cooking forever. And I was cooking since I was a kid. I wasn't. I had nothing to do with the kitchen. I think I first went into the kitchen post turning 16. Of course, I hung around near the kitchen. But I grew up in Kolkata, at least my formative years. My dad was doing a lot of exams, studying, doing his medical stuff in the UK. He's a doctor. And my mum was in Kolkata with me. So I lived in my paternal grandparents' house, which is still something, I feel most at home there, probably, if I was to really, really think. It's where I'm most comfortable. So I grew up there. I probably did go into the kitchen after people who work in our house. So we had one of these aunties who still works in our house and she made rotis and I would sit with her in the kitchen, not learning anything, but just playing with the dough. But in all seriousness, I don't think I cooked till I got to university. So I didn't have one of these, oh my God, I always knew I was going to cook, because I didn't. I had no idea. I think you will identify with this, obviously, but growing up in an Indian family, you're either a doctor or an engineer.
Of course.
They're the 2 things that you're
making podcasts and cooking?
Yes, exactly. So I think it wasn't even, I don't even think I would have had judgment, but it's just something I probably didn't even consider.
Yeah.
I was very good at arts from, I would say, quite a young age. My mom put me in dance classes and painting classes, and I think maybe that's also quite a Bengali thing.
Yeah.
All Bengalis are in at least 5 extracurricular activities.
5.
At least.
Yeah.
No, genuinely, I'm being serious. And I think as a kid, you kind of don't like it, but as an adult, you really appreciate that, because I think the studying is like, the studying will happen, but you do some other stuff like dancing, singing, musical instruments, sports.
That is so cool.
And I think all my Bengali friends, this is kind of weird because then I later came here, I didn't realize that wasn't normal, but everyone did loads of things outside of just going to school.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because I think it's made me the person I am today.
Yeah. I also feel like it like basically puts you out there, and like you're meeting so many people when you're learning all these things.
And I really appreciate it. I think, you know, it's so important not to just do one thing. So I grew up, I didn't do cooking, like I said, but I did go to Bharatanatyam classes.
Oh wow, okay.
So I learned Bharatanatyam / Odissi since I was very little. I had my first stage performance, I think, when I was 5.
Wow. Yeah.
I
see where your expressions come from.
I also painted and sketched a lot. So my granddad was a phenomenal artist. He was an engineer, but he was also an artist.
I love that.
And he made a lot of, not just sketchings, but like, you know, like murals of like the gods and goddesses, like in clay.
Like actual physical structures.
Yes. Wow. So he was incredible. He was amazing with his hands. And also he was probably the more, again, in the grander sense, like he was probably much more effeminate than men in his generation, because he was so creative. He also cooked. He loved cooking. And he was the more, out of my grandma and him, he was the more creative person, which is, I think people find maybe strange to hear, especially in that generation, but he was. So I grew up painting. I think my mom admitted me to painting classes when I was literally maybe like 3, 4.
You must be so busy growing up like this.
I don't know. I don't remember that. Like, I mean, I don't remember. I still remember spending a lot of time with my grandparents. So I don't know. I think maybe it was managed very well.
So cool.
Credit to my mom.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really play any instruments. I did play the flute when I later came to the UK. And then at some point, I think I had to decide between dance classes and flute classes with my classes and homework. And I chose dance because I prefer dancing. I didn't sing. I'm terrible at singing.
I don't believe that, but okay.
No. I genuinely am. Okay. I think if Rigel hears this conversation, he will be like, yes, she is. But I loved singing, but I was very bad at it. And I forgot the question. It's just about how I grew up, isn't it? So I think that's kind of it. I grew up in India, again, till I was 8, 9. I have very, very strong connections to India, especially to my house, especially to Kolkata, which is probably, I think some people really do think I'm from there, which I am, but I didn't grow up there. We went back every summer, like most British Indian kids do. And then the rest of my time, I was in Liverpool, I was going to school. I think I really started to take ownership of my dancing when I was like 13, 14. I had some very good teachers. And I remember performing Bharatanatyam in one of my school talent shows.
Wow. In London? In
no,
UK.
in near Liverpool.
UK,
so. And I remember thinking it was embarrassing when I signed up for it, but actually when I did it, I felt so good because everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" And back then I was learning, so I was doing all my classes and exams and that kind of thing. So it was very liberating. And I think before then I was probably a little bit embarrassed of maybe my roots. Probably the time when I started dancing properly in front of my friends. It broke past that, and I was like, I'm really proud of like all the stuff that I do, especially dancing.
That's such a beautiful experience to have at that age, because I feel like a lot of us come into that much later. Like when you leave home, you move away, and then you have this realization that, oh my God, my roots are so beautiful. For you to have that experience at such a young age.
I think it was definitely before my GCSE exams, which is class 10 exams.
Okay.
I think it was that year basically, and I really distinctly remember that actually, and I remember like just being really proud of like doing something really Indian, not Bollywood or anything, and just what I was learning, and everyone loved it. And it gave me a lot of confidence. Cut to me going to university, So between the ages of, I think, 16, 17, 18, which I think happens to a lot of people, I was really struggling, not with actually my identity, but just with what I wanted to do with like my career.
Yeah.
I studied economics, actually really liked economics.
Yeah.
But the cooking started way into university life. Nothing before that. My only experiences, I think, with cooking anything was making chaat for guests when guests would come at home. And I think my mom always knew I was very good at like flavors of chaat. So she'd get me to make like the bhel puri or like the puchka or something. But that was it. And it was purely just like, oh, this is fun. Let's just do it for some guests, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of, I guess, overall. I don't know.
What sparked your interest in cooking? Was it necessity of moving out of
Yeah, a little bit of that. And I think I've spoken about this quite openly. I was very depressed during my second year of university, third year. And actually it's something, I was seeing the university counselor at the time. So I danced a lot, like I said. But obviously I was studying, and I think the depression was not really to do with anything. It was just depression, and that's what it was. She recommended that I try cooking as a form of mindfulness, which I'll go into this a bit more, but that's something I still do very much. And the cooking, I didn't really do it before that. Because she recommended it, I remember going away. I was still cooking. I was cooking like, basics, like when you get to university. I could make
basic dal and
literally dal, rice, some stir fries. I would get like butter chicken ready made and then add some things myself. But I would never like cook raw meat because I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to cut any meat. But it was very basic. And then I think when she recommended, like try this, like because you're already creative, why don't you see if that focuses your mind? And I think that's kind of where I started. Yeah, it really did. I think when I used to cook, I wouldn't think of anything else, and that's still true. Very true. And it was definitely helped along because my husband now, we just started dating, and he loved eating my food. Although I made the same things over and over again, but it was nice that someone appreciated it. So then it gave me more fuel to, I guess, be like, hey, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to try this thing. And there was no Instagram at the time. So I think any recipe stuff I did it from books. Or just like,
and your memory of seeing and
memory of seeing stuff, BBC Good Food, obviously, but nothing beyond that really. And I'm pretty sure I just made, everything had the same ingredients. It had like lemon, it had
smoke,
chaat masala. No, nothing to do with that. It had lemon, it had chaat masala, it had paprika. It had like, I think like cumin.
Played around with
but that's it. I didn't do anything beyond that. I think my actual cooking stuff probably started when I moved to London. And I think it continued because of this. I think when I cooked, I didn't think of anything else. It was my quiet time. So when I went to work and I maybe didn't have a good day, I could go home and just cook for like an hour, and it was really lovely. And there was a few things that helped me along doing that, and then things that fell into place.
I love that. I totally agree with what you just said about food being like cooking being a very mindful thing.
It really is.
Because I feel like I am in front of my computer for 8 hours a day, and then I'm on Instagram looking at reels. The 2 hours I'm cooking or 1 hour I'm cooking, I am completely there. I feel like more people need to like look at cooking as a mindful activity than like a chore. I think it's just such a game changer.
It really is. I actually find it quite offensive when people say they just like they don't have time to cook, because you do have time. Like everyone has time in some capacity, unless I don't know, like maybe some A&E shift workers, because again my husband's a doctor, so I've seen that as well. But you can spare 15-20 minutes, and
for sure,
it's such a grounding activity. And it's I think it's like self-care. I really think, because you get the reward so quickly. And you're nourishing your body in whatever way you can. And I again, like you said, I think so many people think this way. They just probably don't put it in these words, and they don't address it. But it's such a good activity. We always spend our evenings, most evenings, if we're not actually doing, I don't know, meeting friends or whatever. But even now, actually into my 30s, seeing friends has become like, you cook together. And it's really nice. Like you have people over and you cook, and like, even if you're not doing it together, I love cooking for people. So like, I'm happy to do that. But it's still very mindful, and you're very present in that moment. Obviously eating out's amazing. And I eat out as well. But I think as an activity, it's very grounding, and I still find that.
So I want to go a little bit into the cooking part of it. So when you think about your childhood, what are some smells and sounds that you think of instantly?
The smell of rice boiling.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's also, I don't know if, yeah, rice was such a central part of everything that we did at home. And then I think just, I love kitchen sounds, and I do think back to those quite a lot. I think just the sound of the pressure cooker going off. Yeah, the CT.
Yeah.
The sound of that, or like the sound of like, I don't know, the metal, the kunti that we call.
Okay.
So it's the Bengali word for like the metal. It's has a very unique shape.
Yeah.
That against it's called a kunti.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know, and it looks beautiful too. So yeah, the sound of that against the pan. Again, the rice boiling. So when I grew up, actually, we used to cook the rice on not the gas, but like the kind of kerosene, like the separate
with fire.
Thing, with fire, exactly, separately. And I love the smell of that. It was so nice. So I think a lot of those things, I think smells of like chutneys and like something frying.
Yeah.
The sound of like fish sizzling. That was very common in our house because of Bengali, and we ate fish for lunch pretty much every day. And a lot of that, even now when I go to Calcutta or anywhere, I really like, again, it comes back to the mindfulness actually, because when you cook, I think it's so hard to like listen to things and watch things, and because you need to pay attention to the sounds and the smells and all of those things, because otherwise you're not doing it right. Something's going to go wrong. So that's probably, they're like some of the core things that I really think about. Of course, I think because I was in India and we went back to India so often, street food was such a big thing.
I know.
And that's something I really miss in London. Like, I mean, London has some street food, but it's not actual street food.
It's not street food.
It's not street food, right? Like just the going out and the casualness of it.
Yeah.
Which I love. And now that I spend a bit more time in India, I get to do that a lot more, which is
I love that. I also remember you did a series of markets and street food in India. What's it called? Bazaar?
Yeah, I think just walking around the bazaar, which is hilarious because I think people think I'm weird. But I think Kolkata is not very touristy.
Yeah.
So when like a lot of times when people see you blogging and stuff, they find it like actually just
they're like, this is normal, like
they find it strange, or they think you're like a celebrity, like you're like filming for a show or something, which is interesting. But I really love doing that, and I think in the last couple of years I found it so nice that so many people identify with that, because it's sometimes, I think, when you live in a big city, especially in the West, in the global West, you think that's not normal. But it really is. People spend so much time in shops, and like I like showing that off. I think
I love that. I love the content that you post.
And it isn't curated. I genuinely am shopping for those things. It's not like I'm going to like pose and then I'm coming back home. I'm actually genuinely doing
your day.
That's my day. I'm actually doing that activity. But for me, I think a lot of the roots of cooking come not from like dishes or like, I don't know, learning stuff. But actually the learning happens in these markets or like the shops. I can spend hours in like grocery shops. Amazing. It's like a thing that I don't know. I don't know if other people do it, but I do it.
I know we went a little bit into this. Who were your biggest role models growing up? I know your granddad was, you were just saying.
Yeah.
What did you learn from them, from these role models?
I do think my role models are just like people that I've been surrounded with. Obviously my mom, my grandma, both my grandmothers, I'm very blessed to have them both alive and still learn from them. My granddad, I think people just around me, I don't think I really looked up to people on like media or TV as much because I didn't know that I wanted to do that, to be honest. And now that I think about it, all my cooking it stems from people around me. Even, the aunties in the UK that I grew up in near Liverpool, like every time you'd go to someone's house, there'd be enough food for like 20 people.
And so generous, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think seeing that was so normal that it's now in me to do that and imbibe that. And I think hosting, feeding people, I think gathering over dinner at home, it's a little bit of a dying art. Also, I think, just being a guest is a bit of a dying art because people always think that maybe inconveniencing you or something. And I don't, for me, it's never that.
Just show up. Like,
just show up. Honestly, the amount of people that I'm like, my door's always open. I do mean it. And I don't think people take me seriously. Because they're like, surely not. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to bother you or something. And I'm like, no, I think it's actually easier for me to just make you some dinner. We can have a conversation. And it's the best way to catch up. And I think I grew up seeing that. So all my role models would be the people that were around me. I think if we are talking about media, probably, You know, genuinely, I think the first cooking show I did watch was Jamie Oliver.
Yeah.
I have some other thoughts about Jamie Oliver now, but that's because I've gone into it a lot more.
Yeah.
But that was the first cooking show I watched.
Yeah. And then there's media available to tell you more than what
Yes.
you would,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
say 20 years ago.
So the Jamie Oliver, Sanjeev Kapoor
Of course,
on
yes.
Indian TV.
Yeah.
I loved his
Yeah.
cooking shows. They were just so like, I don't know, just cozy.
Yeah.
And then I think now, I mean, I have a lot of role models. I love Ranveer Brar.
I love Ranveer
I
Brar.
love watching his cooking videos. I
Yeah.
find them very therapeutic.
Same.
And I like that not everything's super measured. I really love watching, like, obviously Anthony Bourdain. I think that's actually a cooking show format. Whatever he did so much work.
Yeah.
And thank God it was recorded. I go back to that time and time again.
Yeah.
And even if it's nothing to do with recipes, I think it's inspiring to see how people live in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a cooking show good enough yet.
Agreed. Yeah.
Compared to that,
100%. Yeah. Nothing tops that.
I don't think I have seen some of those episodes so many times and found new things. So I actually don't watch as much cooking content because, and I think this can be something we can go into a bit later, but I find sometimes it interferes with my own ideas.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Obviously, when I was starting out cooking, I did. But I read a lot. I think reading was a big one. Yeah. So in terms of, actual role models, genuinely my granddad, my mom.
Yeah. You had solid role models at home. Like there's no need to look out at all.
I just don't think, I never needed to, genuinely. And even now, again, so Rigel's grandma, both his grandma, they're phenomenal cooks. And again, we're so lucky as a couple, actually, all four of our grandmothers are alive. Touch wood.
Touch wood, yeah.
Touch the frame and the wall. But yeah, and it's really nice because I get to learn so many different things from all four of them. So yeah, they're definitely my top role models. Yeah.
Amazing. Great segue into my next question. I feel like since I have been married, there is so much that I learn about cooking because I see my husband's mom cook and I'm like, I had no idea this is how you cook because he's from North India and I'm from South India. And I feel like although like I know Indian food, the way they make North Indian sabzi
No,
is
but this
so
is,
different.
I mean, you shouldn't even say that because I feel Indian food in every city is completely different.
Absolutely, yeah. They say it changes every 10 kilometers and it is so true.
It's really true. And I also think it changes every home because if you think of the amount of cities and just the movement of people in India, every home has completely different ways of cooking.
Beauty of it,
And it's really lovely. And I actually, this is something that forever fascinates me is that, so when you learn about cooking in whatever capacity, even if you're not a chef, everything's very westernized.
Yeah.
Because in a good way or a bad way, the French were the people that documented food.
Yeah.
Right? South Asians, East Asians, Africans, Chinese people, they didn't really do as much documentation. And I mean like writing.
Yeah.
Most of it's word of mouth or it's like learning through doing.
Yeah.
And I used to get offended at that. But now I think that's kind of the beauty of it because it encourages creativity.
Yeah.
I remember when I did start cooking, even I would ask my mom, like, what's the measurement of this? Or like that. And there isn't any. And there's like a structure. It's, I don't know. I like comparing things to maths. Maybe it's the economics in me. But it's like a formula.
Yeah.
But then you can adapt depending on the problem that you're solving. So I really like that about our style of cooking. But again, East Asian, Chinese, African, like it's similar.
Yeah.
It's just, I think we're so stuck on the Western style of measuring things and having the same outcome every time. Our food isn't that.
I really appreciate that perspective. Like I feel like I've never thought about it that way. So I really appreciate
and
that.
it shouldn't be. I think this is, I do get people asking me for recipes and stuff. And of course, there are vague recipes of things. But the beauty is that it is different in everyone's house and it depends on your mood. And actually, Ranveer Brar says this a lot, so I probably have picked it up from him. But it's like the rasa of it, which is the essence
Flavor,
of cooking. And it's the same with our music. It's the same with our dance. It's the same with our architecture. It's interpretation of something, which I really love and I value so much more now than I probably did 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's who you are. So
I
love that.
And I think even with events and stuff, it's nice that everything's different and there's no strict formula.
Got you.
But I completely ignored your question.
No, I just want to know, is there something that has completely changed since you've been married because of something that you've learned or seen?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so my husband's mum, she obviously, so it's a very different, we both grew up in the UK, right?
Yeah.
actually our parents are good friends because his dad and my dad went to the same medical college in India. But so my mother was a stay-at-home housewife, which I think honestly is the hardest job ever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like
Hands
for sure,
down, yeah.
because the job never stops.
No.
Whereas my husband's mom, she's a psychiatrist, so she was a very much like working mother, cooking on the go, and they both cooked a lot because I've also eaten my mother-in-law's food since I was a little girl, actually. So probably in that sense, no, because I've grown up with it.
Yeah.
It's not like I've learned it post getting married. But they cook very different food, despite both of them being Bengali. I think what has been the really interesting thing is, so the dad, Rijal's dad's side of the family, Amarari, but they live in Bengal.
Okay.
And his dadiji, oh my God, she is a phenomenal chef.
Yeah.
And genuinely, if she had been born in this era, like she's like a force of nature.
Her.
Yeah, genuinely, even compared to my grandmother's, she is really skilled. Like she's so fast and she's so adept and she's very creative with the food she makes. So I've learned a lot from her actually, and watching her like just be around the kitchen. She can make you like a stuffed paratha or roti in like maybe 30 seconds. It's actually crazy. Like if you go to her house and you just utter the words like, I want to eat this.
Food, yeah.
Somehow it appears in 5 minutes and you're like, have you just made this from scratch? And she's like, yeah, I just did it. Like
the genius.
She's genuinely so good. And I don't think even like trained chefs are as trained as that. Because there's something about, obviously, you know, being aware a lot of our grandmothers got married very young.
Yeah.
So they've been cooking their whole lives.
Yeah.
So to them, it is a chore.
Yeah.
But it's something that's very part of their personality.
Comes naturally.
Yeah, like she got married, very, very young. She's been cooking since then. So of course she's amazing at it. Like she's mastered every skill. But yeah, that's something I've learned a lot from her for sure, because honestly, crazy magician in the kitchen.
Yeah, love that. Moving on to the next part of our conversation, I want to talk about all the amazing work that you do in London. You do a lot of events. You also work at a restaurant. So tell me, what are all these things that you do and how did you start?
Okay, oh my gosh. I do a lot of things now. I'm calling myself a freelance chef. Yeah. Which I think is what people like me would call themselves. I started cooking, like I said, I think around university time. Yeah. So my first kind of chance upon cooking, genuinely in like a more serious way, let's say, was, so I was in London, I was doing my master's. I saw something on TV, no names shall be named, but I saw something on TV and it was a Bengali recipe. It was on a very, prime TV show. Yeah. And it was just entirely wrong, okay? And I think I was quite like a fiery 20-year-old. Yeah. So I wrote to said person on an email, because I don't think I was using Instagram really. Yeah. Just saying, hey, by the way, this is wrong information. Like, and it's on primetime TV, so it's getting a bad name. Yeah. This person's secretary wrote back to me saying, you sound really interesting. When you come in, and meet us. Oh my God. Okay. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, whatever. I feel like I'm okay at cooking. And then, that was kind of my chance into being like, you know what, maybe let me do like a bit of a free internship essentially at like a really big restaurant. Okay. I didn't like it because restaurants all across the world, this is probably the same. It's very male dominated. It's also, the hours are really bad. Okay. And the pay is also really bad. And I don't even think it's gotten better in the last few years. And I've been doing this for like 7-8 years now. Yeah. So this was while I was still at university. Then I met Asma Khan, who is obviously very famous now. And she was not doing her restaurant at the time. She was just doing supper clubs. Yeah. And someone introduced me to her on an email off the back of this thing. It was all very free and I was a student. Yeah. And that's when I first saw what a supper club was. So obviously her supper clubs are really big. But it was that idea of hosting people, showing off your own food in a non-restaurant way. And I remember just being really like, it was almost like seeing like glitter and like fairies. And it was like, wow, this is really cool. And, I think when I first saw it in my head, or somewhere in my subconscious, I was like, I can see myself doing something like this. It's really cool. Showing off my culture in a unique way. Yeah. And then I went into a corporate job, a couple of years. I really hated my job, I'll be honest. I don't think I was a desk working girl. Yeah. So I started cooking lunches. Yeah. And soon the lunch orders got a bit out of hand.
So you would cook at
I would cook my own lunches.
Okay.
A lot of my colleagues were like, what are you eating? What are you eating? And honestly, this wasn't fancy food. Like I said, I wasn't cooking that much. Like I was making...
It's home food.
Yeah, it was like home Bengali-ish kind of food. Probably a bit of fusion, like, you know, with some desi pastas and like that kind of thing. And people kept asking what it was.
Yeah.
So then I think a random week I was like, you know what? Do you want to have some? I'll charge £5.
Okay.
I don't know. Something in my head made me say that. I can't remember now. And then that £5 from one colleague actually genuinely within like the space of a month became like 25, 30 orders within my office. And I was like, oh, I quite enjoy doing this, but obviously I can't just carry 25, 30 boxes into work every week. It's ridiculous. So I did that for a bit. I stopped. And then I think I just started browsing actually online to see if I could do like a restaurant job.
Yeah.
Again, at the time, I don't think in my head I had any idea of going into cooking professionally because, like I said, I thought you had to train to be a chef, you had to go to cooking school and all of that, and I hadn't done any of that. Yeah. So I started looking at like operations, like management jobs because I was working in a sort of a finance analyst sort of role anyway. So I can do, you know, I can do spreadsheets, I can send emails. Yeah. So I was looking at that stuff. I got a job in a Michelin restaurant.
Okay.
As the front of house, like hostess. And yeah, it was just, I think it was a very steep but enjoyable learning curve. There was a lot of issues, and there still is, with the London food scene. So maybe we can go into that a little bit actually. But I think it taught me a lot about myself. I knew I liked being around food. I knew I liked seeing people eat. I could see all the things I would do. Yeah. Instead of, you know, said fancy restaurants that I was working in. Yeah. And then during that job, there was, some not very good things that happened, which led to a bit of a, I don't know, block for my mental health and just me thinking about what I want to do later because I didn't want to be in a restaurant all the time. Again, the hours are really bad. So you only work weekends. You basically only work evenings. So if you have a partner that doesn't do that, you don't see each other. Yeah. And I had a partner. So I was very also conscious that I had another life that wasn't just working till 12 p.m. every day, which is horrible. And I'm a morning person, so working at night is not for me. Yeah. And then kind of slowly, so I met my boss, my ex-boss now, not my boss anymore, but my ex-boss who was looking for somebody to help him run Indian restaurants in London. But he was looking for someone who was very like hands-on, because kind of I don't know, a bit of a chameleon and doing lots of things. And we had some mutual friend connections. So I was like, I feel like I'd be great at this job. And that's the job I learned the most at. And that's the job where that boss pushed me to do my own supper clubs. Lovely. I think because I was kind of playing around with the idea. I knew at this point that people did supper clubs. London has had supper clubs for the last 15, 16 years for sure. It's not, I'm definitely not a pioneer. And I wanted to do something similar. And he is this amazing person who comes along. We came up with his name, Smoke and Lime. Literally a random day. There was honestly, there's no story behind my name. We just came up with it because we were like, we need two words, kind of that go together. I like smoky food. I like limes. Let's do that. And then he was the one who was like, write it down, put a date down, invite some people, feed them, see what happens. So Asma came to my first supper club.
Oh my God, amazing.
Actually, my first supper club, I get asked this sometimes now. You know, are you ever nervous or whatever? My first supper club, I had like Asma, who was running a successful restaurant at the time. I had this boss who had 2 restaurants in London. I had some investors who invested in restaurants. So it was a very intense setting. Yeah. And I cooked for them.
How did you feel?
I felt amazing. It was so good. And you know, I think going back to my childhood, I never had stage fear. I never had stage fear because I'd performed from the age of like 3, 4 on a stage. So for me, like, firstly, meeting famous people has never been like, like I don't get scared because I've kind of been surrounded by a lot of famous people in my childhood. And I never had stage fear. So like I could perform. And you know, supper clubs, a bit of it is performance. It's like, for sure. It's kind of like a stage show.
You're representing yourself and you're putting yourself
exactly.
out there.
So I don't think I ever had that. I felt amazing. As soon as that first supper club finished, I think I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. But between that and then me doing it full time, there was a whole 3 years while I was working a full time job, doing these restaurant like operation side of things, and I was teaching in a cooking school. I just started cooking a lot more. I think that's it. Like I think people are genuinely like, where did you learn all this? I think I learned by doing. I genuinely just learned by doing. I did so much cooking. Like I'd be cooking constantly. And I like it. I really enjoyed it because it was that mindful time.
Yeah.
So it never felt like a chore. It never felt like I had to do it.
Yeah.
I just did it because I liked it and it was getting me some money on the side, which is great.
Amazing.
And now it's been 7 years me doing that.
Incredible.
Full time, only since COVID because I think just before COVID, I decided I wanted to do it full time because things were going really well. COVID was, it was just like a block in the road. But actually, I went to Australia during that time. I cooked so much in Australia. I think people don't really...
Did you do supper clubs in Australia?
I did supper clubs and I did bigger supper clubs. So in London, you know, space constraints. Flats are small.
Yeah.
You can only do 10 people, but the flat we lived in Brisbane, it could fit like 16, 18 people.
Wow.
So I just started doing more and more. And I am one of those people who learn by doing, literally.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think that time in Australia, time during COVID, I cooked so many hours.
Yeah, and it took off before you
I think it just took off, because it is something that I just kept getting better at because I was doing it.
Yeah.
And of course, I think it takes me so much to say this, but I have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I absorb things by like seeing them and reading and all of those things. But ultimately, the food just got better because I was spending so much time doing it.
Fair enough,
And then when I came back to the UK after Brisbane, into this flat, which we're sitting in now, I just felt really confident. I was like, yeah, I know I cook really good food now.
Yeah.
And I know people can come and eat my food. And so I've just been doing it. That's it. The answer is I've just been doing it.
Amazing. First of all, shout out to your ex-boss who just...
he's a good friend. He's a very good friend
These
of
are the
mine.
type of people we want around us. And I'm so glad like there are these people
He was so
who push you
supportive.
to it.
And I mean, I can name him. His name is Dhruv Mittal. He's a good friend. He ran 2 very successful restaurants in London. Sadly, they shut during COVID. But I learned so much from him. He's a phenomenal mentor, friend, especially when it comes to like just zoning into a business. And honestly, until maybe last year, I don't even think I was treating it like a business that I've started. It was just like, I'm cooking because I like it. It's fun. That's it. That's what it is to me still. So it never feels like I'm working, which is a good and a bad thing.
Have you changed how you look at it now, and how have you changed it?
Changed how I look at supper clubs?
Like your work in general.
Not really, you know. Honestly, when it comes to supper clubs, it's a day of me cooking with a Bollywood movie in the background. And I'm having some fun and I'm creating and people come and eat my food. So no, I don't really think of that as any different. The stuff separate to that, yes. I think be it social media or like working in other places, gaining experience, networking is so big.
Are you more deliberate about it now?
I'm much more deliberate. I think now I'm deliberate. I think maybe I was always deliberate, but I think I didn't know it was going to be my whole life. That's it. But I think definitely the main shift was post-Australia when I, you know, Australia, I speak of it so fondly and I feel about it so fondly because we didn't know anybody. So I genuinely did start a business knowing nobody and it was filling out.
That's very brave.
So like, of course there's been downs, but I think it gave me a massive confidence boost, which I try and remind myself of when I'm feeling down these days.
There's something that you've achieved.
I went to a different country and made my food.
That's not easy.
I had a brand that no one had heard of. I didn't have friends there. Here, obviously things are slightly easier because I have my friends who live in the city and I have family here and all of that. So it is easier. There it was like complete, like, you know, level 0. And people did not even know what Bengali food was. I think in London, at least, like we have the benefit of this massive city.
For sure.
People kind of know, even if they're not accurate, they do know.
Makes sense. The next question I want to ask you is, you have grown up both in London and in India. So when someone comes to your experience, how are you bringing both of these things together?
Oh God, that's probably a question for you. I don't know. You've been to an event. You should imbibe that. I don't know. The feeling is so. Okay, I am from both London and Kolkata, right? Specifically Kolkata. So I think the parts of Kolkata that come through are in, I don't know, the smells, the ethos of the food, obviously the taste, the music. There's a lot of things that kind of mishmash into it. The London part is probably just me because if I was to just be in Kolkata and cook, my cooking is different. Because actually I do events in Kolkata now. And the way I cook there is quite different to the way I cook here. The London in me is the confidence.
Yeah.
Genuinely, because I speak like this and I'm educated here, so I know how things work here.
There's like home-based.
Yeah, it is. And the Kolkata is the essence of the flavors and the music and the atmosphere and the fabrics and all of those things. So I think it's a very good marriage.
I can also answer. You asked me. Like,
Yes.
I feel like
I think you should answer this question actually.
you've covered a bunch of things.
Yeah.
For me, it was basically the setup itself. Like, I feel like your living room is like a little part of Bengal in like London, which is so cool. Like you walk in and it's this entire experience of like beautiful paintings and like the table setup and everything. And then the food, I feel like, is such a good mix of Bengal flavors and everywhere else.
Yes.
Like I remember the focaccia. Focaccia is not a
not a Bengali
food,
thing,
but I could taste the mustard in that. You know?
I think this is the thing. I find it so. Sorry, I'm going to sit with my legs up.
Feel free.
I find it so hard to explain to people sometimes when they haven't been and tried, because a lot of it is that like it smells a certain way, it looks a certain way, it feels a certain way, and that, you know, my kitchen's open, so you can see me doing stuff. But the food itself, again, it's not traditionally Bengali, and I don't like calling it fusion. I think no chefs like calling their food fusion, because it's me in that food.
Yeah.
It's my understanding and representation of the flavors I grew up with, which were Bengali. So if I was to get my mum to do a supper club, which I'd really want to at some point, her food is very different to mine.
Yeah.
But my food stems from her food because of the spices, the oils, everything. But I will give a twist to it unknowingly, or now knowingly because I'm more deliberate with it. But I think the exposure of being in London provides that. I don't think other cities would have done that same job, because here you get to eat so many other things and you get to experience so many other things that they will, as a chef, I just absorb that.
This is it, Sohini, for me. Like the fact that London is so diverse.
It is. It's
so
amazing.
Beautiful. Like I went to New York and I felt the same way, but that's it. I can't think of another city that does what London does.
I really don't think so. I think, look, everyone who lives in London is a bit in Stockholm syndrome because it's really expensive here. Sometimes things don't work.
Yeah.
But the availability of just exposure that the city has, it's really hard to find that anywhere else.
100%.
I love hearing 5 different languages every day when I walk outside, or more than 5. And I've never been ashamed to speak in my own like Bengali. I speak it on the phone all the time when I'm out and about. No one's looking at me. I love that. So it's not, I've grown up somewhere else in the UK. It's not the same. But London's really expensive.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So it's a Stockholm syndrome.
I feel like London gives you like 100 nice things and it's like, okay, there's the money for all
and
of
then
this.
it traumatizes you sometimes.
100%. The cost of diversity.
The cost of diversity and having things to do all the time, genuinely. But I think, again, especially as a freelance artist I think cooking is an art. So like a freelance artist in so many capacity, people live in this. It's really unaffordable now, more so than than it was when I was a student, actually. Way more. So it has the availability of all these things, but it's not maybe sustainable. I don't know if I'm going to live in London forever, in all honesty. It's great for now. It's great for probably the next 10 years as well. But it's a hard city if you're trying to do freelance creative work. Really hard. It takes a toll, and it constantly takes a toll on me, which is why I need to go on holidays.
Is it the competition? What do you think makes
the competition's a good thing, probably, but there's a lot of different things. I think there's definitely a bit of saturation with people doing so many different things. Like you can never be a big fish in the city. Unless honestly you're one of the big names in food and you've made it big like 15 years ago. It's really hard to make it
now,
in that. It's really hard, and there's too many options for people, which is, again, it's a good and bad thing. None of these things are all bad. I think the hard thing is honestly managing finances, genuinely, as a freelance person, because there'll be people my age, so I'm 30 plus now, that are earning well above 100,000 because of the corporate jobs that they do. It's near impossible to earn that as like a creative person in the city.
I feel like the costs just add up.
It does.
And it never ends.
And I think, I actually want people to speak about this a bit more, especially in the cooking world. I hope you don't mind me being very blunt here, and please keep this in, because I genuinely think people need to know the pay is so bad. It's shocking. the amount of times, probably every month, I get asked if I can give people freebies, supper club invites or whatever. And it's not a bad thing. Sometimes I do want to invite people, but other industries don't have that.
No.
Even other creative industries, say if I'm working with a photographer or a videographer, they're not going to be like, oh, let me make you a video for free. It's not the case. But people expect that from me or other people in my shoes as well. And the general pay in cafes, restaurants, it's terrible. It's like minimum wage. So there's no money that you get for actually being creative, innovative. Maybe like I do a lot of zero waste food, right? So like cost effective. No one's rewarding you for any of this. And I find that really sad because I wish that was the case. Like I know I've worked for businesses where I'm probably saving them some money. There's no reward for me. And I'm getting paid the same as someone else who's maybe doing something completely different to me, not in the same efficiency. So people need to look at those things. They need to analyze individual talent a bit more. I don't think it's the case because it's a very big city, right? So I think the downside is it's a very big city. If I complain, someone else will get the job. And I've worked honestly in Mayfair restaurants, Soho restaurants, cafes, small owned businesses, large owned businesses. The pay is terrible.
You would think that wouldn't be the case because these restaurants are in these prime locations and they're charging
it's really
you
bad.
way more.
The realities of working in the restaurant space or the cafe space in London is really harsh. And everyone I know does like 3 different jobs, including me.
Is there an exception to all of this? Is there like this one thing that you're like, okay, this is very different? Like, I feel like we also need to call out if someone like has changed something, like for others to learn. I don't know, like, or if you...
I'm trying, in terms of finances, genuinely, no, I don't think so. I think the only way to like kind of hit the sweet spot, and I'm learning that now, is working with like brands. There's certain brands that really do value creativity and they'll allow you to do things. But if you're talking about like a strict, restaurant or cafe, it's very rare. And I also haven't worked in that space for a couple of years now. So I'm sure there are some. Genuinely, it's the female-owned spaces that will do that, which is not surprising to anyone, I think.
Not at all.
Anytime you have a female boss, generally things are a lot better because they'll understand so many more things. But if I'm doing like an overview, the hours are so bad, and considering those hours, the pay is fine if you're doing a basic level thing, but if you're slightly different, if you're exceptional, and again, I'm not saying I'm exceptional, but if you're, doing zero waste or you're being creative in a different way, there's no reward for it. That's there's like a base thing, and that's kind of what everyone gets. And the competition is so high, you can't really go around that. But again, in saying that, my partner's a doctor. Doctors get paid terrible in this country as well. So it's not even like I'm doing a critical life-saving task, but I think creativity needs more reward. That's all.
Sure.
I don't think it does get it in this world. Probably in many cities. Definitely not in this one.
And some change in terms of policy for freelancers to like...
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no benefits really, sadly. Like I don't actually have like sick leave. I don't have a pension. But I have to save my own money for my pension, right? And there's many people in my shoes who are on those terms. I think there should maybe be encouragement for small businesses, more creative individuals that are making things work in the city and making the city what it is. I don't think there is.
If you're thinking about long-term London, I think that's so important. So thank you for highlighting that.
I think it's like, I wish more people spoke about it freely. No one speaks about money in this industry for some reason, and it really makes me quite sad.
Speak about money.
Speak about money, because people need money. To live here and work here, you need money.
Tech is not going to do everything. You need creativity.
I know.
So moving on to the last part of our conversation. So you do a lot of work in terms of supper clubs, cafes. When people come into your house for supper clubs, what is something you want them to walk away with?
I mean, again, without sounding pretentious, the feeling of community. I feel like community is being used very loosely these days. Everyone's like community, but it's like, actually, what does that mean? For me, it's a space where anyone who comes into my house, they're sitting on the same table. They're equal in some way or another. And I just want them to feel part of something, part of my home, part of my life. Which I think me and Rajul, obviously, who's a very key part of the supper clubs, we do that very well.
Yeah.
And we have been doing it for ages. And I really like small supper clubs for that reason. I love doing them at home for that reason. I want them to take away that there is a space in London that they can eat with their hands and chill on the sofa if they need to.
Yeah. No, I think you guys do a great job of that. Like I can say that because I've been to the supper club, very welcoming. Like you are always making conversation with the guests. Like
I think we both love that. Actually, we've always loved that. I think it comes very naturally to us because of how we grew up.
Yeah. Love that. And because of your work, have there been conversations that you've sparked? Like, is there been like ripple effect that you look at and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing?
Hopefully more other people doing supper clubs. I feel like that has happened. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to take actual credit because I don't know. But hopefully people sharing their regional cuisines with their friends or I've had some lovely messages in the last couple of years of, people who are maybe my parents' age, a bit younger, who are like, my kids didn't appreciate our home food, and because of you and watching stuff that you do or being to your event, they have. That means so much to me because I really don't like when people are ashamed or like shy about where they come from. So if I'm making it a bit cooler, then great.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that I may have contributed to some people at least.
Yeah.
I think cooking the Bengali way, like not wasting things. Definitely some people I've done cooking classes with and events that I've done, people have taken that away to be like, this is this amazing thing, but it's made out of stuff that you might throw away in your kitchen. So hopefully that's a larger impact. Where
does that come from, Sohini? Like,
that's just Bengali. Honestly, it's something I've never even questioned. I've always cooked like this because I've seen my mom cook like this. Any of my relatives cook like that. Any of my, friends of parents as well. Bengal comes from a lot of famine in the history, and cooking with everything and things around you. Some people are like, oh, it's really Italian, and I'm like, no, it's really Bengali because we grew up. No, I didn't, thankfully, because I'm very privileged in that sense. But people grew up like my grandparents' generation. They grew up with maybe not having a lot of stuff.
Yeah, limited
resources, and it's making amazing food with that. Like actually. Very recently, I was reading about how the banana was so important in Bengal because every part of the banana tree in Bengal is used for something, a dish, actually, like an edible thing. So we eat like the inside of the stem and the outside of the stem and the peels and the fruit. So it's really genius.
So cool.
And it's not something I made up. It's just something I'm trying to show off. Because I think it's always been there and everyone does it, especially in Kolkata, in Bangladesh. But I don't think we're not very good at marketing ourselves. And I'm trying to do a bit of that, I think.
Love it. I know there are some challenges in this journey. And when that gets difficult, what's something that you're like, okay, I can't stop doing this. I need to continue to do this. What is something that brings you back?
More cooking, genuinely. Genuinely for me, it is cooking. Like, I know a lot of chefs, friends, people I see online, people who are chefs, they're like, oh my God, I've cooked all this much, I'm taking a break. For me, break is making some more food. It's really weird. And only very, very rarely will I have days where I'm like, I don't want to cook. But for me, going back to just making something quite basic is what takes me back because I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm like, I'm very good at doing this thing. But I don't cook for that. I cook because it brings me peace. Actually, I really do enjoy it. I cook on my days off. I don't know if people believe me when I say this, but I genuinely do. Like, I had so many events in the last 10 days, actually, as I'm speaking to you, and I've had a very tiring week. But this afternoon, I made this amazing lunch, and I was like, this is nice. And I started writing my next menu. So that's what brings me back. It's not really anything beyond that. Going on nice walks, being, again, very mindful. That's an activity I really try to focus on. And it inspires me to make more food.
So what's next for you for Smoke and Lime?
I think doing more of what I'm doing. I'm trying to manifest this, so maybe saying it out loud will be good. I do want to have, I think I'm imagining having like a community space in the next few years where some of it's a cafe, some of it's, I don't know, a dance space, a studio.
Beautiful.
Maybe a bit of a charity shop because I shop only from thrift basically now. So I think something that brings all aspects of my personality together and I can be there, not to manage it maybe, but cook. Someone else maybe hired to manage it. So maybe, I don't know if that's in the cards. I don't know if it's going to be in London, but it's something I'm imagining.
Yeah.
And I can really
It's not
see
about
it.
if, it's about when.
It's about when. I think the location is up for, debate. And I think the one thing I do know is I want to live close to whatever this is.
Yeah.
I don't want to be traveling for my work. So I really want it to feel an extension of my living room.
Yeah.
But not in my actual living room. Maybe at some point in the future. That's probably what's next. In the short term, more supper clubs. Cooking in India more.
Yeah.
I have been doing that the last couple of years. I really enjoy it because it's a very different creative challenge because I'm cooking the food and the guests are the people that eat that food at home.
Yeah.
So I have to think so differently, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
It's like it's a good challenge for me.
Yeah. How has it been received so far?
Lovely. I think it's great. And again, people, when I've done events in Kolkata, hopefully more cities in India soon.
Yeah.
I want to do something in Bangalore. I want to do something in Mumbai and Delhi. People really like it. My mom has brought a lot of her school friends. They've brought their kids. And the audience is so different because those flavors, they'll be so familiar with. So all the explaining that I have to do here, I don't really have to do as much. But it's bringing that food back to them in maybe a new way. And that's the London in me coming in.
Yeah.
But not in a fusion. It's just, I'm presenting you your own food with my thought process. And people love it. People have really liked it. I've had a few articles in India now. So yeah, more work in India, more spending time with family and friends in that capacity in India.
Yeah.
Because I think when I go to India, it's like I fill up my bucket. And then I come here and I'm like, here you go, everyone.
Yeah.
So, but going to India fills it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else coming up in India in the next few months?
Next winter, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay.
So Jan, Feb. London sucks in Jan and Feb.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything. No one has any money.
Yeah.
So I'm escaping to India to get some sunshine.
So Jan and Feb 26, you have events in India?
Yes,
Amazing.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, lots of supper clubs. Summer's always very busy. Winter's less busy.
Yeah,
I think that's another thing with this job. Like it's very seasonal.
Seasonal, yeah.
And I'm still kind of not used to it, but I think I'm getting there.
Yeah.
But more just feeding people. I think the genuine feeling that I always have is I just want my food or Bengali food to be like up there when people are like, this is the food I like eating. Because it's a phenomenal cuisine.
It is, yeah.
And it's really quite undiscovered because we're so bad at our own marketing as people. We're very like, we'll do it in our homes, but we don't talk about it.
Humble and...
It's not humble. I think people... It's either embarrassment. I hope it's not embarrassment, but I think it's almost a bit of guarding as well. And I don't want that. Like, I'm so open with like, if you ask me for a recipe, if I know what I'm doing, I will tell you what I'm doing because I don't believe in guarding. I feel like that's how things get lost, especially with our culture and our food. And actually tying it back to, the mindfulness aspect and how I think of cooking. When people are like, they don't cook Indian food, it really hurts me, especially when Indians say it, because some Indians are scared about cooking Indian food because they think it's not
intimidated.
and it's not intimidating. It's a really easy, adaptable cuisine.
Yeah.
You just have to use your head. Genuinely, you have to use your head. And it's a lot of, I think, misconceptions about Indian food being like long and tedious and you need lots of different things and spices. No, I don't think most people's grandparents had like more than 5 spices in their kitchen.
Yeah.
They made food.
Exactly, yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, so it's being a bit like kind of, I don't know.
Open-minded
with our own cuisine. And that's something, my legacy, if there is one, it should be that the cuisine doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
That's it. Because there's no writing as much. Although people are doing a very good job now. I don't think I'm going to be one of those. But in just practice, in day-to-day practice, it's as much as doing a bit of exercise in the morning.
Yeah.
Just cook something.
You're doing a wonderful job preserving it in your own way. Like I know,
I think just doing a bit of your own food make a dal. It's
that's it. Keep it simple, but start somewhere.
And keep it alive, because otherwise, if we're all as Indians start cooking pasta and other food, it's amazing, but that food is going to live on anyway, and our food may not at some point because people are too scared to cook it.
Just try for sure.
So it was so good. Your questions are great, by the way.
Thank you so much. I think I learned so much about you and about Bengali food. I'm going to do a quick rapid fire for fun. What is your most favorite restaurant in London?
Okay, this changes time to time, but as of now, Kayato Kitchen.
Okay.
It's in Elephant Castle. Guyanese food.
Ooh, okay.
phenomenal food. There's Auntie Faye, who cooks the food. I've known her for now 3 years. She is who I want to be when I grow up. I love her.
Awesome.
She is the personality of that space. Her food is phenomenal.
Love it. I love it when people represent restaurants.
Yes, same. And every time I go, she just gives me like this amazing hug. And the food is just to die for.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
If you haven't had Guyanese food, you should go.
I haven't. I will check it out.
It's like the perfect level of comfort because the spices are quite like desi.
Yeah.
But it's new.
Yeah.
So yeah, currently Kaito Kitchen.
Okay. Is there a favorite Bengali restaurant other than Smoke and Lime Supper Club?
No, there isn't.
Yeah, just come to your supper club.
Yeah, come to the supper club. I think, no, there really isn't in the city.
Okay.
There is a pretty decent Bangladeshi place in Brick Lane called Gram Bangla.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else, genuinely. If I was to have Bengali food, I would eat my own food. Or I would go to one of these aunties' houses. Like,
fair enough.
I don't know, obviously my mother-in-law, like any of these aunties that I grew up with, like they will make amazing food. Yeah.
Awesome. If you had a tap in your house where you could have any drink, what would you go for?
Oh my God. Ooh. Maybe like a masala thumbs up.
Ooh, okay.
I love a masala thumbs up. Yeah, I think
Masala thumbs up is a
I
good
think
one.
masala thumbs up.
I didn't expect that, but that's a good one.
Yeah. Or like the only other one that maybe a nimbu pani, but no, I think I love a thumbs up. I don't drink it in this country because I save all my thumbs up calories for when I'm in India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your dream dinner guest?
Gosh, it would have been Anthony Bourdain. But I think a lot of people will say that. He just seems like he'd be very good conversation and very real. Otherwise, I'm trying to... Ranveer Brar. Yeah, Ranveer Brar. I'd love
please invite me to that dinner.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I wish I could feed him. Yeah, I feel like he would like my food, actually. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I feel like he'd like my food. But yeah, one day.
Yeah. Is there a ritual that you do before your supper clubs?
Yes, so many actually. I have the whole day's ritual.
Share it.
Old Bollywood movie on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the time to watch a Bollywood movie on the day?
I love watching a film as I cook. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah, it has to be a movie that I've watched usually. Yeah. This is a weird fact, okay? This can be a highlight of the podcast.
Yeah.
So people are like, how long does it take you to cook? It takes me as long as a movie. So I usually time the movie with like me finishing my tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I know
it's a weird thing.
People go for like a run and they're like, I do this. I'm like, I will run for 4 songs and I can't stop because that's me going like, I like that.
Yeah, I cook for my movie.
Very interesting.
So it's usually a movie, usually a Shah Rukh film.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sometimes even older. Like I love watching like old Bengali movies and stuff. So, but it's while I cook, I do that. And the other ritual is actually sitting down and like doing my makeup before a supper club. I really enjoy it. It's like 10 minutes of just really quiet just before everyone comes. I love putting makeup on. Yeah. Like not a face full of makeup, but like doing my eyeliner, putting some kajal, putting some lipstick. Yeah. It's very nice.
Goes on to the part where we were talking about it's you are performing. It's
a little bit. Actually, I feel the same as when I did dance performances. It's like putting that little, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Getting dressed, doing my
going into your character.
Yeah, getting into character. Exactly.
Love it. I think this is something we discussed during your supper club. Yeah. What's your death row meal?
Puchka.
Puchka.
Yeah, I think it is puchka. Okay, it's a Thai.
Yeah.
Puchka and also ghee bhat aloo shiddo, which is ghee rice.
Okay.
And aloo shiddo is the Bengali mashed potato with mustard oil and green chili. I love it. It's like, it's just so comforting. It's like a hug.
Yeah.
But it's carbs.
I mean,
ultimately, all of it's carbs, okay? And it's like potato.
Hot rice, potato.
And ghee. Yeah. I love ghee and rice. Yeah. So yeah, that's probably it.
The last question is my favorite question.
Oh, okay.
I feel like when I was growing up, people asked this a lot. And people have stopped asking me. And I feel like now I'm saying embrace the child in me more than ever.
Yes.
So embracing that. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be Auntie Faye. I'm telling you. Yeah, I want to be Auntie Faye in this like cool little whatever restaurant, wherever it is, with my space, cooking my food, maybe having some staff with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be Auntie. Currently, I want to be Auntie Faye. I have been wanting to be her for the last 3 years.
Love it.
What else do I want to be? I think she is the answer. She is the answer.
I love that. I can't wait to go to this restaurant.
We should go together.
Let's do it.
It's great. I would eat that all the time. It's amazing. She just makes, I think it's the welcomingness. But I want to be an auntie. That's what I want to be. Not an auntie. It doesn't have to be Auntie Faye, but just an auntie who's like,
that
come into my space, enjoy my culture, my food, and hang out. And that's
so you.
Yeah, that's what I want to be. And then apart from that, I want to be rich. Maybe I should say that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be rich. But
just
I want to be
say
rich. I want to be rich.
Ask and you shall get it.
I want to be rich in terms of money.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens.
It will. Just keep saying it.
But as of now, I'm just focusing on the creativity.
Do you wanna ask me anything?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
So I have been thinking about this a lot the last few months. I want a farm.
Okay? Yeah? Okay.
I want to have chickens on them. I want to have cows.
Cool.
I want to go to the farm and
you want to
pick up
do your own
eggs.
thing. Isn't it fascinating that we're all going towards like all the things we maybe didn't want when we were like younger, because growing up as millennials, you didn't want that, but now you. Interesting. Capitalism sucks.
It sucks. Fuck capitalism.
But
also I want to be rich. So
I want to be rich, but I hate capitalism. What else can I ask you? What's your if not death row meal, if you had to eat something every day for the rest of your life, it doesn't have to be the only thing you eat, but every day you have to eat this, what is it?
It's bisibela bath.
Oh yes, okay.
Chips.
Yes.
So basically, go with my hands, super hot bisibela bath with ghee on top, and
ghee
then
and rice,
I'm chomping it. Yes,
ghee and rice. Yeah,
that's it.
Ghee is amazing.
I think we can't top this podcast. Ghee and rice. That's what we need to end it on.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some tonight.
Amazing.
So I'm going on holiday.
Yeah.
For the next week.
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going to Portugal.
Woohoo.
But rice. I'm going to eat rice tonight. And I know when I come back, that's the one thing I'm going to be like on rice. Either with like dal or with ghee.
Yeah. Oh, sounds perfect.
That's the best. And I always like, I feel like, again, such an auntie when I'm on holiday after day 4. I'm like, okay, I need my dal
Give
and
me
rice. Like, I need rice.
I relate with that.
Yeah, I just want just eat rice with my hands. Yeah.
Sohini, after like seeing your journey virtually for 2 years and knowing you for a few months, I have absolutely enjoyed speaking with you and learning about you.
I hope we get to listen to this as friends when we're like 50, 60.
Yes, that would be amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, that too a day before you're leaving on like a week-long trip. So thank you so much, and I wish you the very best in everything.
Thank you so much, and I hope to listen to lots of episodes of this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. We are manifesting that as well. Thank you.